What's going on, everybody? My name is D-Rock, and today we're going to take a look at a new synthesizer rack extension called Tribute by Spio Music. It is a wavetable synth. If you're not familiar with Spio, he's done a ton of various tutorials on Reason, and he's got a few other rack extensions available. I'll link his stuff down below. But anyways, let's take a look at what this thing's all about. So, like I said, this is a wavetable synthesizer. I'd say there's a few main sections to it, and we'll just kind of look at what this thing's all about and make a couple sounds with it. So right off the bat, your wavetable section is all up here. This is like your generator section. Comes with two oscillators. Defaulted, the second one is turned off. You can turn that on right there. I'll leave that one off for right now, though. Come to one. If you got your... In this, you don't have like ADSR, you just have like AR, essentially. So you got attack time up here, and then release. So, this is your wavetable area down here. You can load in whatever you want. So it does come with a whole bunch of wavetables, as well as a bunch of patches. So wavetables down in here. You got your basics, gruff, hyper, and sharp. There's some really cool ones. And wave down here, that's where you scroll through it. So now these wavetables, these are just wave files. So you can take other random files that you have, like I have this kick drum, which sounds like this. And we can dump that in here. And you get like kind of instant snailsy sound. Let's reset this. Actually, no, we'll leave it on this for right now. So... you've got some octave controls and your general pitch controls over here. So semitones up and down an octave. Octave control, more of like a fine-tuned pitch control with a sense. You've got your unison over here. You can get up to 8 voices per oscillator. D tuning, and then your general spread. Down here, like I said, you got your wavetable kind of scrolling through it. You've got outer, inner, and then position. So the way that I look at these are kind of like the bend plus and bend minus inside a serum. And then you've got your position, which right now, it won't do anything. But if you've got your outer FM adjusted, you can then adjust where that is. Same thing with inner. So really easy to get some super wacky sounds really, really quickly. And then your FM ratio. To me, this kind of reminds me of kind of like a sync type of a thing. If you turn on smooth, it's a nice smooth sync. And then you've got squarify over here, which squarifies the sound. So that's kind of the general overview of the generator section. You've got a ton of filters, which I think are wicked cool. You got to turn it on first. So you've got 2 filters right off the bat. You got 1, 2. You do have to assign your specific oscillators to them. By default, they both go to oscillator 1. Then you can have them run in either serial mode or in parallel mode. So depending on what kind of sound you're making, that can be super useful. And then the filter types are awesome. So within low pass, high pass, and band pass, you've got 8 varieties. So you got the various slopes of these where you get up to 96, which is just about like a brick wall. Same thing under high pass. You get these band pass combos, which I think are wicked cool. When you get these combo filters, you get this spread option here, which basically spreads the bandpass filter away from whatever other filter you have going on there. Same thing with when you get into the bandpass section, like you've got high and low pass. At that point, the spread's acting closer to like a bandwidth, and then in the notch, once again, bandwidth for that notch. You've also got multi-band pass and then multi-notch. So these I can see being super awesome for making like crazy respaces. You almost get into like kind of like into like comb territory, which is kind of cool. Speaking of which, there are two comb filters within here, a comb plus and a comb minus. So you can imagine how that goes. And then you get expressive. These get really weird. You get just some like, they're just really random cool shapes. I don't really know if they're based off anything. But Spio, if you are listening, I say that you make this section down here, like these filter types, its own thing. Because I think these are wicked cool. And I can't wait to play with these more to like see what they're all about. Let's shut this off right now and let's talk about, actually, let's reset the overall device and then we'll talk about the modulation section. Because the modulation section is a little bit different, but it can be super powerful. So you've got your envelopes over here, which these are pretty self-explanatory. You got 6 of them. You can either use the knobs over here, so A to D. You can add like a sustain with this hold knob, and then you can add curves on the front end or on the back end or both. And you can kind of shape the envelope how you want with it. For the matrix section, it's more of a classical matrix. It's not like a drag and drop thing. You have to add a row, so we can go to like envelope 1, and we'll go to oscillator 1 pitch. And I'll go to sawtooth so it's easier to hear. Pretty simple. You've got your rate down here for how fast you want that envelope to go through, or you can have it, or you can turn off the overall tempo sync and have it just be completely free. I think down to up to 20 seconds and down to 5 milliseconds. Yeah. And then you've got 4 macros, so that's nice if you want to manually control multiple things, kind of similar to the ones up here in the combinator. But then you get this mod section. So this mod section is kind of cool. So this doesn't have like a classical LFO generator from what I've seen. What it'll do is we change envelope to mod 1. So you get 4 mods, as you can see, and then you can kind of shape them how you want. Right now, this is set to loop mode, an infinite number of loops based off of envelope 1. We can turn off. Let's see. Let's clear this out, and we're down to this acting as just an envelope. We can add a loop to it. So now it's looping twice. We can change the number of loops that are going to happen, all the way up to infinite. You can also add in other envelopes afterwards. So that envelope 5, let's just change envelope 5. That way we can see what's kind of going on with it. So now we've got like a kind of a sequence going on here. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, this is almost similar to the sequencer inside of Massive, which I have not been a very big Massive user, but what I'm seeing here after I'm using this some more, this is what's kind of making sense to me now. You do have like default LFOs that you can create with it based off of your various envelopes. So envelope 1, those envelope 4, for example, or envelope 5. And once again, you control that within the matrix section, which you can add in multiple rows, performance. Yeah, let's take a look at the back of this. It's pretty simple. You've got audio out, a few CV ins, a few CV outs, a note CV, and a gate CV. But yeah, overall, I think this is a wicked cool synth, especially with like how fast you're able just to grab a sound. Like for example, here's a random insect bass that I have. Let's drag this in here. Let me reset my modulation so it's not doing some crazy stuff. So really quickly, you can make some super crazy sounds, which I'm super excited to play around with. In terms of like an easy to use wavetable synthesizer to be able to generate sounds really quickly, this is insane, especially having it being completely integrated into Reason. I think this is awesome. For Reason, I see myself getting a ton of use and a ton of mileage out of this synth. Spio, like I said, make this filter section its own thing as well, because this thing's super cool. Or like add in maybe like an audio through. That way we can route it through this and then modulate stuff with the envelopes. But just having it go through it instead, almost as like an auxiliary track or something. But anyways, yeah, this is Tribute. If you like this, go pick it up. I think it's actually on sale right now. Since it's just been released, I don't know the price off the top of my head, but go check it out. I'll link that below. If you have any questions, comments, whatever, you can drop a comment or shoot me a message on like Instagram, SoundCloud, something like that. Otherwise, yeah, I will catch you next time.